Hello and welcome to Authentic Traveling Podcast. I am your host, Sonia Ebenezer Bamigbayo. I am an investor in positive transformation through counseling, life coaching, speaking, and also writing of books. Have you read my book yet? Inner Harmony, Resilience Beyond Chronic Stress and Burnout. This book is available on Amazon and also on my website, www.asebconsultancy.com. On this podcast, we talk about our mental health, emotional well-being, and also our holistic well-being in order for us to thrive authentically. This is a safe space for you to speak about soulful truth and talk about the things that will help you to come back to yourself and regain your self-awareness. Welcome to the Authentic Podcast once again. Today, I've got with me a guest, a very, very special guest, and his name is Adewumi Adisa. He's the team leader, and visionary behind my Green Gene project, and a managing director of Favored Impressions, a vibrant creative media outfit. He's also the founder of Adewumi Adisa Studio, a professional photography and video production studio serving commercial clients across various industries. He holds a degree in art and advertising and is registered member of the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria. He's widely acknowledged as a creative genius. Adewumi has made a lasting impact within the marketing communications industry. He has held various creative roles at leading agencies, working on high-profile campaigns for global and multinational brands such as UAC Food, Freshly Land Foods, Unilever Supreme Ice Cream, RSCCG Global, Intercontinental Bank, Matador Energy Drink, SGS, Grand Properties, Festival of Praise Manchester, Shattered Bank, and Access Bank Christmas carols. He has served for 16 years as the head of television department at Daystar Christian Center, where he led pioneering content creation and broadcast initiative before relocating to the United Kingdom. Through Adewumi Adisa Studio, he continues to provide high-quality photographic and video-tailored content to the needs of commercial clients, combining creativity with strategic brand storytelling. He has further refined his expertise through numerous training programs and workshops in brand communication, photography, marketing, leadership, and television production. He is affectionately known as Favored Major. That's what I call him. The Major. Adewumi is a driven entrepreneur, visionary, creative, and industrious professional. His unwavering commitment to reshaping the image of Nigeria through compelling media and innovative storytelling is evident in his work. With an exceptional blend of creativity, leadership, and administrative prowess, he remains a significant influence in the global creative industry. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Thank you for that long intro. I don't think if I need to do anything again now.
No. It's really, really awesome to have you here today with me, and I'm very sure a lot of people want to hear what you have to tell us today. The topic of our podcast is gratitude in the face of adversity, a lifelong commitment. So, I also want to congratulate you as well. Congratulations on your celebration of your Golden Jubilee as well. And I don't know if you have any word you have to say to that. It's not easy to
Thank you so
celebrate.
much. Yeah, I don't even feel I'm 50. That's the surprising aspect. Because I felt maybe before now I've been seeing people clocking 50. So I felt maybe when I clock 50, there will be something that will be dramatic. I was like, okay, I'm not feeling yes. I just feel I'm still like 20 or 30.
It's about the mind, isn't it? It's about the mind. Age is just a number. It's about the mind. So you don't even look 50, to be honest. So
Hallelujah.
that's good. Right. So we're just going to get down to it. I'm going to ask you some questions. and then you just answer to the best of your ability. So I know I've known you for more than 10 years, and I've always known that you have been consistently patient. You're one person that I always say that I've worked with on Green G project, and sometimes there are some decision that has to be made which are very pressing, and you remain consistently patient, humble, and milk. I'm like, what is going on? Are you not going to do something? And sometimes it drives me crazy, to be honest. Like, do something, just do something. You are always smiling, you are kind. You know me, I'm always on your case. Are you just gonna let that go? Do something about it. I just want you to please lead. If you can just share with us, how did you were you born like that? How did you become like that? So patient, so humble. Please, how did you become like that? I'm just really interested, and I know the viewers would like to learn from
Thank
it.
you. Thank you so much for this question. I wasn't like this all the time, especially when I was growing up. I remember there was an incident that happens with me and my elder brother that I was so angry that I used a razor blade to cut him in the leg. So that's so that people will not see my gentility as a result of being a bit patient or calm or very nice. No, I haven't said life sometimes. You see life in a different perspective, and the perspective that you are now seeing life will teach you to be patient, will teach you to reset the mindset of anger or violence. Yeah, because I grew up in a kind of a community that is very toxic. When I say toxic, in my community where I was growing up, it's a fella community where people smoke Indian hemp, where people smoke take cocaine. As in, it's like a free fall within the area. It's not like something hidden. Everybody knows it. This place is called Ipodo in Ikeja.
Mm.
It's like a place where you have bus stops, garage, and I live with these people from my childhood up to even up to my NYC. So I've seen a lot of how life started beautifully and how life ended up in that same area in a very cruel way. Imagine a footballer that is known globally involved in drugs, and this is people that you watch on your television when you were
Mm.
growing up, only for them to ruin their life in drugs, in the act of following bad gang and friends. So definitely that will, as you grow up and you see that, you will reshape yourself. Like, if I follow this path of violence, if I follow the path of destruction, anger, or
Mm.
try to belong to a society where I don't think I think yeah. But thank God for for life. I was captured very early in life to know more about God,
Mm.
and that reshaped my antecedents growing up. So if I've not been saved, maybe I would have been heading a particular park in Ikeja now, because some of my friends that we grew up together are the head of some motor parks,
Mm.
some kind of transport union heads and stuff. Yeah, I mean, they're doing well in what they're doing right now, but that is not the channel I wanted to go through. But
Mm.
because of the environment I grew up, I mean, those are the goals, the dream that you see. That's the success that you think you want to attain. You
Mm.
won't even want to go to school. I mean, going to school, meeting Christ, is changed dramatically everything.
Wow. Yours is an amazing story because a lot of people blame their environment and they
Yeah,
go, yeah, I didn't have any choice.
yeah,
Is a place where I didn't have any role model. But from what you're saying, it seems like you had a positive influence through school, through your faith, which
yeah,
kind of pulled you to see a different perspective and a different dimension to life. You
yeah.
know, if you don't mind me asking quickly, where did you meet these mentors? For people that grew up that growing up in a very challenging area, what kind of places do you think they should look out for in finding these mentors that can, you know, pull them out?
Yeah, one of it is I right from where I was growing up. I will count myself as one of the lucky ones.
Mm.
I'm very brilliant. I mean, my position all through my primary schools and secondary schools is within the first and third position. Even when I take that third, maybe I was a bit lacking. So my primary school all through was first, and that was where I got my major from, because I said I behave like a military man. So in the process, I was made the head of March Past. Anytime we were doing Children's Day, any activities, I will lead the school in March Past. So I have this goal-oriented kind of person that I want to know more, and I believe that as a somebody wants to be a leader, we need to know more about so many other things. So my inquisitive to know more about things gave me opportunity to read more and also to listen to radio. So it was at this point of listening to radio that I met a lot of people, because then buying books will be so expensive except go to the library. But when you listen to radios, you hear so many things about politics. You hear so many things about people maybe preaching. Like now we don't have at that time we don't have Zoom, but these men of God or probably achievers are invited to radio stations to talk. So I met a man called Pastor Sam Adeyemi in 1996 on radio, talking about success power. So that was a time in my life where I really needed that so much. Even though I've been building myself right from secondary school, primary school, but when I finished my secondary school, I couldn't get admission into higher institution. So it was difficult. And I asked myself, this guy, you are brilliant. What's going on? My wife was fine, but the jam decided not to jam me. So I was at a crossroad. I was a science student out of secondary school. So until when I listened to Pastor Sam Adeyemi on radio, was talk his success power, even though it was a Christian kind of it's a pastor, but he decided not to speak in a scriptural way. Yes, my background is as a Christian or Muslim. My dad is a Muslim, my mom is a Christian. So I grew up knowing both faiths in my journey of life. So there's no way to despise one from another one. But I wasn't a real member of a church. So I only followed my friends to Catholic church at that time. And Catholic church, I mean, is a bit lukewarm for me at that time. So I wanted something more vibrant. So when this man called Pastor Sam Adeyemi said, okay, he's opening a church, which is called Daystar, and he'll be doing inauguration on a particular day, that he was inviting some of his listeners to come. And I said, okay, maybe this an opportunity to meet this man that's been talking to me on radio. That was when I joined the church. And on the first contact with him, everything changes. So it was like rubber meet the road. In me, I've been dying to get into a particular terrain where I will fit in. So meeting him is like like minds. You know, I grew up in Ipodo, in a community where it is opposite what I have inside of me. So trying to make best of what I've got then. So now meeting Pastor Sam Adeyemi and the atmosphere of other like minds. So it was just like, bam. Then they started giving me some tutors, challenging me towards the path. Then it talks about sometimes what we wish for ourselves is not what God wished for us. So, you know, remember I said I am a science student, but I have this ability of art within me.
Yes.
But I never knew that art is something I should pursue. Because in the spectrum of life then, even till now, African parents want you to be an engineer, doctor, lawyers, and everything. Art, I said, I won't be able to wear tie. I'll be drawing. So my perspective of art was focused on people on the roadside doing painting, the signboard. Then never knew that art is also into advertising.
Yeah.
What you see on TV, what you see on our billboard, how the newspaper we flip, we see advert in it. So those are done by those who went to school. That's at that time,
Yes.
who studied other creative arts mass communication and different stuff. But mine is art. I know it's not about mass communication. So until I decided to travel to Ife, OAU,
Yeah.
to go under their art. So that's when I see that there's something called advertising companies,
Mm.
and they're really looking for people in art to power that particular area. I said, oh, okay, I could do this. So there's a white collar job that artists or people who are into art
Yes.
can explore. Oh, then I went back. I had to now do a new WAEC, because all my life, my WAEC is focused on sciences,
Right.
further maths, physics, chemistry, nothing of art related courses. So went back. Then that's when I decided to do another jump.
Right.
Got admitted to go and study fine and applied art, and I did masters in advertising.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Um,
Wow. Wow.
and that was why I was able to work in some advertising agency as even while before when going for my NYC, I got jobs offer.
Oh, wow.
So then when I told them that, oh, I'll be going to Calabar to do my NYC, I said, ah, why did you apply? We thought you're going to start tomorrow. Okay, what we can do is that while you are on break during your NYC, then you can come and do some internship with us,
Right.
and it will be paid, so that we won't lose you by the time you finish your NYC, the 1 year Nigeria service corps. I said, okay. So even my friends that we grew together was like, ah, you are fast, so you've even gotten job before going to stuff. And advertising has been the whole way, because it allows me to use the computer to share, to interpret what my client really wants.
Mhm.
Because people don't people see some adverts around, everything starts from sketches.
Right.
There's a storyboard for a TV commercial. You will envision it at, okay, what I'm going to this is a product or service that is targeted towards a particular demography.
Mm.
So what language of communication do you need to use to get their attention? What are the things that they enjoy and they want to find the commercial or probably the promo fit into their passion, to say, okay, when I get to the market or when I needed this service, I can easily identify myself with it.
Yes.
So those are the creative aspects that many people don't know, that artists are the one behind it. So
Mm-mm.
our mindset is artists as people that paint.
Mm.
No, we envision things and bring text into life.
Yes.
Yeah, the client does not, they won't come to you and tell you that this, they will try the press, they call it a brief.
Yes.
The client will tell you that I have a product which is energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
My target audience are people from between 18 to 25.
Yes.
I want this thing to be everywhere in the shelf in supermarket and every in their faces. Create a brand promotion for me to get this thing out. So it is me that now look. I need to look which colors will fit this brand, what kind of size or design in terms of shape that people will want to identify with. How is the communication going to get to this person of age brackets?
Yes.
And by the time we visualize it, people now consume these things on billboard, in the newspaper, on the TV, flyers, and everything, and that's how going on. So those are some of the things behind the scene. Though we have a pool of people that works behind. We have client service, we have copywriters, we have creative directors, we have a client service who interface directly with the brand manager or whatever to bring the check in. But the powerhouse of everything I've mentioned is the creative department, which I head in some of these agencies that you mentioned there.
Wow, that's interesting. What I see from what you're saying is that your key strength, some of your key strength is curiosity
Yeah.
and love of learning. And your love of learning as because it's not easy to go back and then do your WAEC. And then it's almost as if you backtrack and then
Yeah.
you went back, do your exam, and then do your jam again. So you didn't care about the time because You
Yeah.
saw who you wanted to be. You knew who you were not. This is why I always tell people it doesn't matter how long you stay on the wrong direction, it will
Mm,
never ever take you to your destination.
definitely.
So it is better that you turn back and
Yeah.
then head to the right direction so that you can get to your intended direction. And that's exactly what you did. So that's not wasted time. That is knowing yourself, because you have to know
Yeah.
yourself and know what you want. And thanks to you aligning yourself with the right mentor, which is Pastor Samadeyemi, and you were able to fine tune your life. That's absolutely amazing. For people that are watching out there, remember this: doesn't matter how long you stay. Make sure you know who you are, who you are not. Know the people that you need and follow the right people, because whoever informs you will transform you as well. Hello there. I just want to ask you a favor to subscribe, like, and share to your friends, your neighbor, your colleagues, your family, your friends, and everybody that you know. I'm really working hard to ensure that I bring useful and valuable information that will help you with your mental and emotional well-being so that you begin to thrive authentically. You know, a lot of us will feel we have to wait until something happens before we become reactive. But with this podcast, I am trying to give you information that will make you proactive so you don't even have anything to react to in the end because you are looking after yourself properly. So, what are you waiting for? If you have been listening, please like, share, comment on anything that resonates with you. This will help to drive our visibility. And also, if there is any other topic that we have discussed that has been a trigger or that you feel you need support with, please visit www.asebconsultancy.com. There is a 15 minutes free consultation link that you can click on right there and book to speak to one of our counselors. Thank you so much for helping to drive visibility to this platform. And also, if you have been listening on Apple, Spotify, Audible, and every other um, podcast platform there, please follow us and keep sharing. Okay, so I have another question here, which is,
Hmm.
there's this belief that men are expected by our society to be very strong. As a
Hmm.
result, most of them they prefer to suffer in silence when there's adversity. They don't want to talk. I have counseled men, and I noticed that a lot of them do not finish their sessions. A lot
Hmm.
of them at least finish their sessions, and when they come, they find it very awkward because of what the society norm is. They are not allowed to be vulnerable. They are not allowed to ask for help. You're supposed to be the macho man
Hmm.
that everybody rely on, right? And I noticed that is causing a lot of things. I was just wondering if you could share anything that has, how this belief has affected you in the face of past hardship and how you managed to deal with it.
Yeah. Um, People do only says 1,000 steps in the right direction takes you to. Let me rephrase it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
Mhm.
But sometimes, if you take the wrong step, that journey of 1,000 miles will take you to nowhere.
Mm.
So if you now retreat, so if we rephrase it this way, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step in the right direction. If you didn't take the right direction at the beginning, you will have 1,000 miles, but going to nowhere. So, and when it gets to that blocking stone where you can't move forward, you can't go backward, you have to retrace a step back.
Mm.
That was the story of the prodigal son who took a wrong step. And when he found out that, what even the peanuts and stuff that people are offering me outside, back in my father's house, even slaves are treated better.
Mm.
The person decided to do what? Trace his step back. There are so many times I've cried personally on my own in the house that I've taken some wrong steps.
Mm.
And I know what people will say. When you take a wrong step, people will tell, I told you, I warned you, I did this, I did that. And if you don't in yourself accept some of those things that you did, that was wrong, then you will still make the same mistake. So crying and being a man is taking the right decision if it's for you to go back and take a new step. Don't stay on the wrong path, suffering
Mm.
because you are a man. You will lose your life. And it's if some of the greatest people in this world, people still forget them. So you are insignificant in the on the face of this world if you think people will miss you. It's only for a while they will go out. So as a man, I want to tell you that please, if it's time for you to cry, cry. There's no point showing macho man and in depth of you, you are dying. So many men, I mean, sometimes when we talk to ourselves, some men says, "Oh no, you don't do that. You're a man." I said, come on. If I have some of my friends who are having crisis in their marriage, and for them to come so low to woo that same woman, the same way they woo her to become their wife, they are boastful. I said, you don't really need this woman. I mean, if you really want to save your relationship, your marriage,
Mm.
then you have to drop the macho stuff and come down to the level. I mean, you'll be shocked if you come down to the level of this woman. You bring yourself to that level that you want to woo her by just the same way you were toasting her before she said yes.
Yes. Yes.
Do whatever, because if you really love somebody, you will go extra mile.
Mm.
You will go extra mile. Fine. Ladies being tagged that, oh, they hardly say sorry. So why can't you say 10,000 sorries just to get back? When you now get her back, you cannot start showing up maybe years after. I mean, start showing your martial man on whatever. But to win her back, you have to go down. So the same thing applies to your personal life. So many men are dying and not be able to resolve small issues in their life, all because they can't say, I can't stoop so low. Who are you? You are not God.
Mm. Mm.
God saw you and felt that you need and help me. That was why he brought a woman in your life. So if you feel you are complete as a man, I mean, there's no point God creating an helpmate, which is a fellow woman. The same thing applies to you. Can be a professional in your field. Think you are a genius that everybody is. You are not alpha and omega. You are only good in that line. The moment you die or probably leave that position, somebody else who can do extraordinary. So why do you want to kill yourself as a man? Why do you want to be so bold not to accept errors, mistakes,
Mm.
not to submit yourself and recalibrate yourself back in your personal issues? I mean, this is not even about woman or about anybody. It's about yourself
Yeah.
to recalibrate yourself. If you need to go to school, go to school. I mean, so many times people have said me that, oh, this part you would have done it better. Instead of me arguing with them, I'll say that, okay. But in my closet, I will reassess myself. Like, okay, I mean, this person is saying this. I might show it kind of a martial, or probably we don't want to accept that in the public. But beneath myself, I know this is thing. So some people are denied themselves even when they are alone
Mm.
of that conviction that they made an error, a mistake. So as a
Mm.
man, accept yourself and try to mend ways so that you can live long.
Mm. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. It's all about knowing yourself again, isn't it?
Yeah,
Knowing what you want part time and giving yourself the permission, evaluating yourself. You know, when you evaluate yourself, tell yourself the truth and don't be prideful because
exactly.
they said pride comes before fall, isn't it?
Sure.
Mm. You know, everybody, a lot of people look at people and they're like, wow, Favor has got a lot of skills. And they look at another person, this person has, look, they do not complain. They are okay, everything is fine. But really, my mom normally used this adage that is the clothes that cover a lot of things. If you know what people are really going through, you will be more kinder. I was just wondering if you could share a very challenging moment that you went through that could potentially, when people will find it hard to believe. I remember last year in October, and it was the miscarriage month.
Mm,
And when I tell people that what I went through, a lot of people did not believe it. they were kind of surprised that, because I'm a very cheerful person. I'm someone that is always like just bubbly, but it doesn't mean that I don't have my challenges as well. And then I was surprised at the emails that I was getting from people, or people who have been through similar experiences, even some more than myself. But because of me being vulnerable to share my story within that month, to support that cause, to draw more awareness at it, a lot of people were able to relate to it, and they were able to find their healing and begin on their healing journey. I was just wondering if you can share your most challenging moment or any of your, because mine is
Yeah.
a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, mine is plenty, but we move, we keep on, we learn from
Yes.
it, we heal and we move. Um, I was just wondering if there is any that you'd be willing to share.
Yeah, yeah. I'm ready. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm supposed to even release a book this year
Ooh.
on some of the things I've seen in my 50 years of life. Um, but one stands out a bit higher because I could say that is most likely the beginning of some of the other bigger ones that I've seen. So it might not be the biggest out of my challenges, but it's the one that start as a like a catalyst
Mm.
that brought about stuff. I mean, I've got some in relationship, immigration, losing a loved ones, even losing a family member who's so dear to me. So many ones like that. Sometimes I cried personally, and I like why. But the one I would like to share, which is I think we resonate with so many people, is the relationship part.
Mm.
I'm a very careful person.
Mm.
I look through things before I take actions. And within me, if I'm convinced internally, then I will seek God's face.
Yeah.
But sometimes we are clouded by our inner feelings
Mm.
and we translate it to God speaking to us.
Mm.
You see people telling you these negative stories about these people and these persons, but in your mind, you just don't know what happened. You just say, "Oh, these people are just they don't. I mean, these people don't understand this person. I do understand her or him more. I will be able to manage it." But in the process, you get into that relationship, and it takes you about 10, 15 years back of your life, and you now after everything is being clear that you have lost this relationship, and this is the state at which you are. Then you will now realize that so many people were telling you this, even people who are so close to this person that you want to tangle in relationship with, and you just decided to turn deaf ears because of your inner conviction. But sometimes we need to doubt our inner convictions and listen to people and see go back to our inner conviction and see that okay, I'm going to be responsible. So what make me now not blame anybody or then was that I talked about that in that process. I said, okay, I will face any consequence that comes out of this. But the
Yeah.
consequence sometimes, some of us are just lucky to be alive
Mm.
because some consequences of our actions can lead to suicidal thoughts.
Mm.
So in 2010, I got into a relationship. Everything was fine. I put in my best, all the teachings I've heard from my men of God. But when I shared it with my men of God, everybody against it. They said no. I said no, okay. This is in my inner conviction. I said no, they won't be part of it. So because of that, I ignored them. I moved away from there. I shared with another person. He said, no, 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 no. It's not your kind of person that they need to be to need for find in this circle. Drop that relationship. And the third one was that the father of this particular person also said no. The mother said no. The family said no. Then that is when I said, this is the time I need to stand with her. That she's not the kind of person that they thought she is. They gave me so many references. I said, the love of Christ overruled every other things. I was preaching gospel. When it's now my turn to face what these people have shared with me, I thought it was a joke. She acted the same way. It's like a template. She answered the same template on me. I was still strong until the day I saw a police in the house. And the police said I should leave the house. And I was homeless. My mind was like, okay, this is just contemporary. Never knew. This was 2011. Till date, nothing happened. I'm out of the house. It was at this point where I was roaming around the streets. I got some money, so I hired hotel to start staying. I didn't even know that you can rent a one-room apartment in the UK. I was staying in an hotel. They were cutting £40, £30 every day from my bank card. I stayed about 2 weeks. Then it got to a stage. I said, I can't continue like this. So why just walking around the road? Somebody just called me, and it happens to be somebody that knew I was in the UK. He said, "Oh, you are going through this. Please kindly come and stay in our house." So I moved into their house. So that saved me from the everyday spendings. This was a pastor in a church in town center. So he couldn't put me in his house immediately. So he hired me a hostel, a 16 bunk hostel. So I was staying with so many other people who are a bit homeless until I had to reconnect with some of my. This is a white man, a pastor of a Catholic church in Oldham Road, and in city center of Manchester, UK. Along the line, I met somebody who happened to get me a place in his apartment. I started sleeping in that apartment. Still, I felt, this thing can still work. Why people are telling me that God has saved you from that relationship, I was still planning to mend it until I found out that if I decide to mend that, I'm going to be in the pit of fire. Yet, they were saying it out. Then I got people I was living with seems like this guy is going to commit suicide if they don't engage me, because I will be on my bed from morning to night. 3 days, I won't even eat or drink anything. I won't even realize it. I'm in another world. So they had to find me a job in a warehouse. Now, I was telling you that I work in an advertising agency. In Nigeria, I've set up my own business. I've got about 5 clients working with me, brands and stuff, making good money. So I didn't come to the United Kingdom based on greener pasture. I came to the United Kingdom to meet somebody I love. So now the situation started becoming toxic and I had to leave that relationship. So why I was being given opportunity to engage other than sleeping, it was a warehouse where I would work myself for 8 hours standing, and when I get back home, I would just go and sleep. And wake up the following morning, 6 a.m. again, back to this job. So it was at a point when I was now working there, I was like, what am I doing here? People working here, we call that place Slave Trade Part 2. That's how difficult that job is. You won't see any British who has not been convicted working in that place. The only people you see more is maybe European people who are trying to hustle, Black, Asian, minority who wants to quickly earn money and send money back home. So mine is not about the money I'm making. Mine is just that I have something that is engaging my mind at that time, rather than me being idle and planning suicide thoughts. So it was at the point there I was pushing, because we used to push cage. Then I was just crying. Then my colleagues were like, why are you crying? They don't understand. I just realized that what am I doing here? So the whole scenario of how people convinced me not to go into this relationship, how I forced myself to into that relationship, how I now ended up in a warehouse in a foreign country, pushing cage when I'm supposed to be using my thought processes for my advertising profession.
Yeah.
I am now doing £10 per hour, £15 per hour when I'm supposed to be the one employing people. So what I was just dropping through my head. I still worked there because I felt I was a bit in shape when I started working there. Because while I was at home sleeping, not talking, I was just gaining weight. I said, oh, maybe this is like avoiding pure gym. So I worked there for about 6 months. Then when I couldn't take it further, I told them I want to resign. So on my resignation in 2012, no, in 2011, October, I decided September, October, I decided to go to Nigeria, and I couldn't stand it. So the pressure in back home, when you break up a relationship, Africans stigmatize. There's a stigma on you. They said you can't manage your home. I said, with all this, my reading, my listening to men of God, this is so toxic. I ran back again here because one of the things I felt back home is that I was looking for comforts, people to understand why this did not work, but it was the opposite. Friends and family that was supposed to hug you, that thank God you're safe. Thank God this incident did not take your life. Many, but instead it was being antagonized over so many things you did wrong. And the only way I could get comfort then was just to run back. So I came back. I said, okay, I'm going to rewrite the story. I'm back here. I'm going to excel here. I'm going to do so many things to rewrite the error and try to tell many people why this thing you need to think twice before you take that decision. And that is exactly one of the things that saved me to date. Going back to my drawing board, rewriting the story and saying that I must leave. I mean, I shared one place that I was about to commit suicide at the point because suicide thoughts was just was renting free accommodation in my head at that time. Because you would think I'm at the pit of everything in my life. Like you were up there, my business crashed. The relationship I sacrificed everything for, it still didn't work. And here I had to start all over again. And in the process, you're losing friends, you're losing colleagues, and you just have to start all over because now you need to build a new friendship. Because if old friends that were supposed to console you are the one antagonizing you, and you want to run away from them as far as possible, so that you can get a new lease of life. And as at the time I was talking about, I've not even built friendship in the United Kingdom. So I have to say, okay, how do I start? Then one of the things that changed everything was when Pastor Adeboye came to do something in 2013 in Workers Rally. So I've worked with, if you see my CV when you were reading it, RCC Global. So I've worked on RCCG brand while I was in Nigeria. So my boss then was the public relation officer for RCCG worldwide at the time. I don't know if he's still current. So I met him in London, and he asked me to meet Pastor Adeboye, and he prayed. So one of the things that was changed then was I changed my name from Major. My nickname was Major to Favored Major, because he mentioned something then that really changed everything. He said, "You didn't make any error. You only committed adultery with the person, and God has saved you now. because in the first place, you're not supposed to be in that relationship. So as a redeemed, we can't see it as adultery because the person you got involved with was married. So so you going to that relationship, it was a taboo. So thank God, you have a new leaf of life and a new way to take a new step. So feel free. You can come back to us and we'll join you with whoever you have chosen. But don't make the same mistakes. And that changes everything. So I said, okay, that favored
Just
me.
please, just hold on, because I don't want no, I don't want anything to be misconstrued.
Okay.
That favored measure was going out with another man's wife.
No, no, no,
That
no.
is not the case,
That's
please.
not the case.
That
That's
is
not the
not
case.
the case.
No,
They
that's not
are,
the case. The
they are
person has been divorced.
aha.
Yeah, but according to the Redeemed Christian Church of God, even though who you are getting married to is divorced, for the fact the person is still living, you are not supposed to get married to that person. That's what Redeemed
All right.
believes.
Okay.
Some churches don't believe in that. But because she has been divorced before we get married, because we got married in church in court. So, but for them, even at that time, they didn't want us to join. They can't join us together in their church or any Pentecostal church who doesn't believe in that at that time. So that was exactly what I was trying to portray, that because that person husband is still alive, you are not allowed to get married to her. But because of my conviction at that time, now I know more better. So I am free. So that was a time in my life that I feel now generated in so many other things. So that was why I decided to share it, so that at least other problem I was having was as a result of that particular relationship.
Mm.
But thank God I am over it, and I built over other things in the course of my life. That is just even like is the list of it. I
Yes.
like challenges because challenges give you another opportunity to move into the next step of your life.
Yes.
Because the more challenges bestowed on you at work, that is what, and you're able to surmount it. That's what leads to your promotion.
Yes.
So when you bite, one of the things my pastor used to tell me is that bite more than you can chew, so that God will help you to chew the rest. But as we grow, when we were growing up, we said, don't bite what others can chew. So that
Yeah.
limits us from excelling or from facing stuff. I mean, if you are into business and you put some containers from China to come to Africa, probably some goods, there's no assurance that tells you that those containers of your goods from China will get safely to the destination. But you
Yes.
have to take the risk.
Yes.
So when you get to the destination, that means you are successful. That's
Yeah.
why even if you feel everything is going to be all right, then there's no point of having an insurance.
Absolutely.
So insurance
Absolutely.
came in as a result of event of eventuality, risk.
Yes.
So I like taking risk. I like challenging myself because I feel that that is a pedestal for the next breakthrough.
Wow. Wow. I just want to really thank you, because a lot of people will see you. They're like, these ones, they don't understand life. They've never been through challenges. He's gifted. Your work speaks for itself. He's gifted. He's talented at this thing. He knows how to, he's very good he has good influence on people. He knows how to navigate his way with different people and all of that stuff. It's fine. We don't hear him complain. He's always smiling and everything. I'm glad that this is coming out from your mouth, because if there is someone out there and you're thinking about putting an end to it, or look at Adewumi Adisa, look at him. He did not give up, and that was why I still have the privilege to speak to him today.
Yes.
One thing I say is that random act of kindness was part of the things that saved you. You
Yeah.
said when you were out of the house, that man did not owe you nothing. He didn't
Yeah.
have to put you up where he did.
Yeah.
But God, in His infinite mercy, used him as a random act of kindness for you, and He was able to put you there. And then in the course of it all, even the job that you got, I feel that also helped you as well. Because
Yeah.
then you were waking up every day to a purpose that was like a distraction to yourself. Because with the kind of person you were someone that had to you need something to keep you busy.
Yeah.
And with you going to this job for 6 months, you got it. And please, for people out there,
Mm.
when our people need support, let's learn to give before we say we told you so. There's a parable that said you use one to beat the child, you use the other one to draw them closer.
Sure. Sure.
You went home for comfort. It really saddens my heart that nobody thought it wise to say, okay, what does he want at this time? You see that thing that we said before about the belief that a man should be strong enough. A
Mm.
man should be able to carry everything. I'm sure if it was a woman that went through that, maybe just maybe she will get more empathy than you did. So for people out there, let's learn to show people empathy.
Yeah.
Let's learn
Sure.
to positively regard people regardless. Yeah, we might tell them like, oh yeah, we told you so, but it doesn't mean we should dwell on that. We should
Yeah.
allow them, if you had that shoulder to rest on and just be vulnerable, probably you will not come back and then go through all the things, even the suicidal ideation that you went
Yeah.
through. I am so glad. I am so glad that you're still with us, because if you had, I wouldn't have met you. And your gift they are using to bless us right now, we would have been deprived of it. So for people out there that are going through similar things, because even the rate of suicide is higher with men now, and they are the ones that
Mm.
theirs really do go through. Um, because they plan their things thoroughly. So please, I'm using this means to speak to someone. If you don't want to speak to anybody that believes you, someone says, Sonia, I can't speak to them because when I do, the next thing is on their Facebook, is on their Instagram. I don't want to be a news for anybody. I don't want to be a source of news. Then there are qualified counselors that, like myself. Speak to them, people you don't know. Just go
Yeah.
and check. And there are so many counseling organizations. If you are in UK, there are different counseling or charity organizations that can even give you some sessions for free if you don't have the money to do
Yeah.
that. So please don't um, deprive us of your gift. We still need you very much in this side of the world, and just stay put. Everything is going to get better. And I know
Amen.
that everything will work together for your good. It's
Sure.
just for you to hang in there. Thank you so much, Mr. Adewumi Adisa. So, um, I think you've already answered some of the questions in the course of you just talking. I know you have a vision for the green gin, and a lot of people, and I know the green gin is happening in June,
Yeah.
right? It's happening in June. Can you tell us what my green gin is all about, and give us a date where we can get the tickets? Please, you need to go and buy the ticket. You need to go. So please tell us what's the green gin all about.
Yes. Back in Nigeria, um, I told you I attended my Daystar Christian Center.
Mm.
There's this Daystar Leadership Academy created by Pastor Sam Adeyemi. So we have the first basic classes and we have the advanced class. So in the advanced class, there's a particular course called National Development,
Mm.
which is I was so passionate about. It's about what is your own contribution to the development of your nation, your country. So as at that time, I pick up a project called Shout Series, where I'm a victim of it. That was why. So this is all about. I told I live in a very rough area while I was growing up, and I didn't even chip it this. Maybe I'll put this in. I left home, my parents, my family home, where when I was in JSS 3, I left home to start living alone on my own, as in leave my parents, my father, my mother. Yes, because why did I do that? I used to visit my friends in Agege because I schooled in Agege area of Lagos, and they don't. Some of them don't have their parents. They live with maybe cousins or extended relatives, and they are doing well because there was no support system for them. So the only opportunity they have is that they could be able to sleep in the living room. There's a big living room then. So when I go back to my own base, I feel like my parents are pampering me so much.
Mhm.
So I hustled. I started because I'm very good in craft. So I used to design handmade cards, signposts for businesses and stuff like that. So and I felt I could raise some money and go and get myself an accommodation and live alone. Maybe
Mm.
that would be shaping me better. So I started this my struggle even while I was in secondary school or primary school. So that came about when I finished my NYC. I was still living in Ipodo in a face-to-face house, run down where we have what is called pit latrine and
Mm.
stuff like that. Fine. So first thing I did was okay. After doing this, my advanced program of national development, I decided to take my house as the first one. I renovated the front face of the house. I painted it, put flowers at the entrance, and go to my own room, paint it, and put flowers also there. So it changes the outlook and people look at that house. So the following year, when I moved from that place, then I started working. So I moved from there, rent a, they call it a mini flat. That means you have a room
Mm.
and a living room, separate kitchen, separate toilet. So you're not in a face-to-face apartment now, but you're not in a two-bedroom flat. You're in a one-bedroom apartment, not self-contained. One bedroom that has a living room. So I said, okay, let me just do the same thing I did in my one-room apartment there. It worked. Even the landlord was so happy with me, like, he said, I've turned his house to London house. Mind you, I'm into art, so I could easily blend colors very well and do some crafts that will uplift the house. So I was driving out one day and I saw a place very close to where I live. They call it a civilian barrack. It's a three-story building with so many people living there. I said, now this will be my project to change the orientation of people. Many people who are graduates at the time, because we just left school or service, we don't earn so much. So we go back to the place where we used to live. And in the process, we struggle to get, because then in Lagos, before you can get apartment, they will ask for 3 years rent
Wow.
in advance, sometimes 2 years rent. If you are very, yeah, they will ask for 2 years upfront rent. And you even the place might not be well now. You pay for agreement, you pay caution fee. Somebody who is just graduating will have to go back to his parents' house.
Wow.
So and I said, what if this house is painted well, is uplifted? You could still live there because the shame of living in face-to-face houses, especially run down houses for a graduate is very, very demeaning. You have gone so many places, you have inquired, read so much about life, and the place you are living cannot even correspond to what is inside of you. So I wanted people to say, okay, from start from where you are to your way on your way to where you're going. Why not make this place a befitting place? So if we do that, replicate that across our country, Nigeria, then that might change orientation. So I brought some motivational speaker in front of that house. I partner with painters. Sorry, people who are painters who paint. I partner with paint companies. I partner with horticultures. Those people who plant. That was during Fashola time. Who plant flowers around to beautify places. That let's transform this house. Even went ahead to partner with an aluminum company
Mm.
do framing of windows just for us to change. Then
Yeah.
I spoke with the landlord that this is what I want to do, that we want to transform your house. So it's called like extreme makeover.
Mhm.
But the only thing is that we won't go into individual rooms, but we'll make sure that the front part of the house is befitting. So it no longer looks like civilian barrack, it now looks like 1004 estate. And everybody agreed with me, and we did a pilot shoot, and that was a success. So it was at the time we were now trying to do series. So I forgot to even mention, Nigerians like entertainment.
Mm.
So to get the attention of people, I had to bring in some musicians. I had to bring some musicians, comedians like Basket Mouth.
Oh,
Then it was Atlanta that was raining. Earthquake, they call them. I brought them to perform in front. So that generated the kind of crowd
yes.
to that particular vicinity. So, and while the crowd were listening to music, then we'll now bring a motivational speaker in
Mm,
between. So to talk to them about reasons why we're doing this. That if everybody can make their houses beautiful, their surroundings clean, we'll be living in our own 1005. We'll be living in our own Victoria Island in our Oregon than looking at people. The only difference from those people who live in a big, clean environment is the mindset.
mm,
And when you paint your mindset, when you change everything around you, when you live clean, even those people who live in big houses will envy you.
wow.
And that was a project I was supposed to say before this eventuality of traveling abroad to meet my spouse came in. You can
Right.
understand why I said something leaked to another and it crashes so many visions. So
Yes.
while I was here and I decided to come back, I told myself, okay, I'm going to do, now that I've been stable back in the UK, I'm going to be replicate what I'm doing back home. But I couldn't do the same makeover
Yeah.
in the United Kingdom. But I realized that, okay, what about the negative stereotype people are giving to Nigerians globally? Then, before now, when we don't have Dirty December, it is about 419. They call everybody. Once they say you're a Nigerian, you're a fraudster. No matter how intelligent or professional you are in your field, you're seen as a fraudster. And there's no way nobody's taking action. So I
Mm,
said, I'm going to take this. So for my 40th birthday in 2015, I said, I'm going to launch this project. So, and that was the reason why migration was birthed to change the perspective, to celebrate those people who are making us proud. If we start celebrating more of the negative, our people, more of the negative stories people hear about us, we visual out easily
yeah.
because we speak bad about our country and we expect us to be. I mean, when I speak bad about Nigeria and I expect myself to travel out of Nigeria and other people treat me well. No, they won't. Because people speak bad about the country,
Yeah.
even speak about their leader. Their leaders, when they are traveling, are given red carpets.
Yeah.
But you, that is ordinary citizen, will be treated the same way you are spoken about them, about yourself. So I said, okay, can we keep now saying positive things about us? Let's celebrate those people who are making us proud. Let's celebrate the value that we have a different gene, a Nigerian gene.
Mm,
And this is 10 years that we've been doing this. And we thank God that people have been appreciating us. This year, um, we are going to be having our 10th anniversary on the June 28th live in Manchester. It's going to start a red carpet from 1 p.m. And the main event is 3 p.m. And we're having likes of Kenny Black, Danny Young, Mike Abdul, um, comedians, Momo Jesu, even different acts, surprises, even from the government of Nigeria, also having some delegation coming around. I mean, I don't want to mention the names now until when they come around. But I know we're going to have a lot of fun, and some people are going to be receiving awards for making
Fantastic.
us proud in the global scene. Some people are traveling from Canada for this event. Some are coming
Mm,
from America. Some are coming from South Africa, and a lot are coming from Nigeria also, just to celebrate the fact that we are Nigerians and our gene is something that we should be proud of,
yes.
irrespective
Wow.
of the negative stories around.
Wow. Wow. I wish a lot of us could be like you. And maybe that would make us look like royalty that we are. But I'm so glad a lot of people are buying in this your dream now. I've always believed in this dream, even while we work together. I used to volunteer with you and everything, and every other person. We believe in that dream. And even with the COVID coming, that did not deter you, because I remember there
Yeah.
was one that was done online. You
Yes.
went virtually for that.
Natural.
Yeah,
During
and I
COVID.
thought, wow, there's nothing that is going to deter this man. The dream carry on, whether COVID or not, we carry
Yes.
on. And when I see a lot of people, I don't know if you've heard of a girl, a Bide, that she's a bike rider, and now
Yeah,
she's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
creating African word book, to
Yeah,
celebrate us. That kind of just tie with what you are doing as well. Like
exactly.
to celebrate, instead of us waiting for Guinness Book of Record, why don't we do an African one? And instead of we waiting, they said, if they don't invite you to the table, create a
Yeah,
table for yourself
for
and
yourself.
then invite the people that you want. So that is what you're doing. We are not, it takes one person to make that difference. And I'm so
Yes.
glad that this vision is carrying on. And I'm so praying that it carry on and it get bigger, and we start portraying ourselves in the light, because there's so many of us that are gifted and are talented and are doing amazing things that need to be recognized, that deserve the award, including yourself as well. So June 28th, 2025. Please, we're going to drop the link of the ticket, where to get a ticket if you've not got yours. We're going to drop it in our bio as well, for you to get the ticket. We'll drop the link. It should be flashing through the screen where you can get it. Please do not miss it. If you're living in Manchester, yeah, people are coming from South Africa, Canada, they're coming from America. If you're in the UK, what are you waiting for, right? Come and join us. Let us celebrate our green chain, because there's something royalty in us. There's something special
Yeah.
in us, and we are taking over. Our food
Thank
is
you.
being is being celebrated.
Yes.
Our music is being celebrated. Our
30
fashion is
December.
being celebrated. Everything. So we are going to start speaking good things, speaking life into our nation. And the more life we see, the more things that we'll begin to see in a positive light. Thank you so, so much, Mr. Fabi. In the course of you answering all these questions, you just keep on entering my questions. I don't even know what to ask. So thank you so, so much. Now, on this episode, we always ask people
Okay.
um to give their own to share how they create their inner harmony, because my book on inner harmony is about my burnout journey, and I'm a
Okay.
big fan of inner harmony, because I believe that when you create that inner harmony inside of you, the external agencies, the external influences will not be able to penetrate, and then you'll not be able to have that level of stress, right? So you
Yeah.
need to create that inner harmony. I'm just wondering, would you be generous enough to share with us how you create your inner harmony, that you are able to smile, get the best shot when someone is taking photography with you? You're like just laughing. How do you do it?
Yes.
How do you create your inner harmony, that you can share with us, that that people can also, get
Yes.
involved?
We women are disturbed are being we always get carried away with our surroundings, with what happens in our surroundings. Sometimes they can get into us, and in the process of getting into us, we react in a way. That might not be the way we wanted to react, but because we allowed that environmental distortions get into our spirit, and we so instead, every time you wake up, don't just jump up from the bed. Plan your day from your mind. Have that peace within you. I used to say this thing, and people say this. I said, I forgive people before they offend me,
Wow.
because you are a band of people want to encroach into your privacy, into your art, into your own consciousness. But for you to have that freedom, that no matter whatever happens, I won't let this thing get into me. It starts from before it even happens.
Mm.
You wake up in the morning, you bless the day. I mean, different faiths can say prayers. Some can meditate. Some can just sit down there. Don't just wake up in the morning. The first thing you do is to pick your phone and start going to on Instagram. You might meet something that you might not like, or
Mm.
trying to check your WhatsApp. Who have sent you a message over the night? Wake up, appreciate that you are alive at that time. Meditate. Okay, if you have schedules for that day, meditate it how you're going to go through everything, either positive or negative, but make sure that it's positive energy all through while you're on the bed. So that sorts so many things out first,
Mm.
because you're already prepared for the day. Then you now pick up your phone and start all that thing. So then the moment you pick up your phone, then you started having some nature coming. Your phone, a text can even trigger you.
Yeah.
But because at the time before you even pick that phone, you have already settled that in your spirit. You
Yeah.
say, oh, okay, I will attend this to this later. A knock can be on your door. It might be something that's a delivery, and the delivery driver is even trying to locate your house. He has gone to drop your stuff somewhere else. I mean, so many things start happening the moment you leave, you step out of your bed.
Yes.
But if you remember what you have solved even before leaving that bed, you easily say, okay, that's it. Because sometimes I go about, want to take pictures with people, and they can frustrate you. But instead, I said, no, I know I've already emphasized this person is going to do this way.
Oh,
So, because I've already forgiven that person, even before he made that attempt of giving me stress. So, I will still say, smile. My smile will knock that particular negative vibes out.
yeah.
Even though
Wow.
I'm not comfortable with what she's doing, but just smile.
Hmm.
Just smile. I mean, it's even better for you to smile than to have wrinkles on your face, because sad face creates more wrinkles. According to science, your intestine, your body, your esophagus, your heart, everything, they respond positive to smile. So why not? That's free
Yeah.
than for you to put some toxic into your spirit.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, you might get angry with somebody today, and that might be the only thing the person knows about you.
Hmm.
That's anger. So why not give people beautiful impression anytime they meet you? So they
Wow.
just conclude in their mind that, oh, this person is always smiling. But you got angry sometimes, but it's not 90% of the energy you dissipate. You
Wow.
dissipate more positive energy, and people will just cry, oh, he's always smiling. Not that you don't
Hmm.
get angry, but you have mastered it by. So anytime you wake up from bed and you don't observe some of those things, you already know yourself that, Omo, I didn't observe this my regular routine. Now you are not scared
Yeah.
that somebody might come and bad energy might start. But if you have done it more, even though you forget to do it in some other instances, you'll be able to master how you deal with people. Now you are not conscious that from the Uber driver to your neighbor will make noise, will step on your toes. But in your consciousness, peace, forgive them before it happens. So I do more of forgiving before people act negative to me, and that
Wow.
resonates everything for me.
Wow. You do know there's a psychology behind everything you've just said.
Mm,
There's a psychology behind it.
all
So
right.
you've just succeeded in describing mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness in you being present to your environment, but you have to be present with yourself first.
First,
Check
yeah.
in with yourself, present
Wow.
with yourself, and then you be aware of what is going on within yourself,
Yeah.
but you are not going to judge it.
Sure.
Because for you to say you forgive before they even do it, it means you've decided that I know what you're doing, I see what you're doing, but I've chosen not to judge you. And
Sure.
that is enlightenment. And in energy psychology, you know, enlightenment is the highest. A lot of
Mm.
people would think love and joy is the highest. No. In
It's
energy
alignment.
psychology, enlightenment, when you're enlightened about things, because that's what you're enlightened about this,
Yeah.
about who you are, about your environment. Because you even said, I know you're going to stress me, but I'm forgiving you ahead of time.
Very of
That's
time.
enlightenment. Enlightenment is 700. That is the energy level,
Yeah.
right? While we have peace at 600, and then we
Mm.
have joy at 540.
Wow.
And then you're going to now have it just goes down. But the lowest is shame, which is 20. And then
Mm.
the second lowest is 30, which is guilt.
Hmm. I
And
get
then
you.
100 is fear. So this is why when you see people exhibiting this energy, these are the things they are at a lower level, but they
Mm.
can eat. Don't underestimate them, because they can contaminate your energy. So
Yeah.
you need to remain at that place of enlightenment. That I know who you are, I know what you are
Yeah.
capable of, but I've chosen to forgive you. And
Sure.
forgiveness is the gift that you're gifted. That's why you're able to smile everywhere you're going. Wow, that is so
Yeah.
so.
So You just have
Amazing.
to smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So protect your space for people that are always carrying their phone. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm just saying be warned. Don't carry your phone in the first instance. You need
Yes.
to check in with yourself and then be grateful. Gratitude is another positive psychology. Be grateful. And then he said, submit your plan. And when you submit it to God, He will establish that plan. So
Sure.
that's what you've done. You've established the plan. And then you now say, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm
Happy to face.
fortified. And we are ready to face the world. Thank you so much for sharing with us from your wealth of us now. And
Wow.
I
Wow.
really do think this will bless a lot of people. And I can't really thank you
Yes, God.
enough for
Yes, God.
sharing your words of wisdom, for allowing yourself to be vulnerable with us.
Yeah.
And, you may have just saved a life. You never know.
Yeah.
You never
That's
know. You
that's
never
one thing
know.
about information. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know you are a storyteller and I'm a storyteller. So when a storyteller meet a storyteller, they will just carry
Ah,
on sharing that
goodness God.
story. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Adewumi Adisa, aka favored, not just major,
Mhm.
favored major.
Uh, this skid maker said, "You get it now. Get it now."
Thank you for your final word. Thank you for spending time with us. And please, if you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Just click on that subscribe now and share it. And you may just save a life. You may impact someone. A lot of people that have been wanting to see, this man is always smiling. They are sharing a lot of nuggets on how he's able to preserve and continue to give us that smile and make us feel at ease whenever we're working with him. So, share and share and share. My name is Abia Sonia Ebenezer Bamigbayo. Until I come your way again, keep thriving, keep living authentically, and be yourself. Take care and God bless.